Hey Aries, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm doing your reading for January 2019. Wow. So I'd already started a reading and was just babbling like a moron as usual. So I stopped it, starting over. Just got too jumbled. Um, so at the bottom of the deck here is the Six of Cups. So on a superficial, um, mundane read of this card is it's about children and nostalgia and your past. But I really like to think, when you think about kids, they just revel in the simple things in life, picking flowers, picking petals off daisies. Do you remember doing that? What was that? He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, so some of you maybe are really dreaming about. I get a strong romantic vibe here. I also have this beautiful star card, this healing star card. So some of you are definitely like crushing on someone big time, and you may or may not be involved. It could be someone from your past, someone you've known before. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent though. But this card for me is really about trying to keep it simple, not overcomplicating things, not putting too many expectations on things. So if you're out dating, being careful not to, when you first meet someone, not all of a sudden to have your whole future fantasized out. So you're like, you're getting married, you're blah, 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 you're having kids, you're doing all this stuff, to really try to keep it, just take it one day at a time and take the time to get to know people. Really take the time to get to know people. If in the past, I think it's going to be hard because I think some of you are going to meet someone you're really, really attracted to, and they're just so pretty, they're just so hot. I can't help myself, but you'd be really cautioned. Not because there's something bad happened, but I think the relationship has a better chance of being successful if you take it slow and really get to know each other first. Really talk about things too. Once you're really, obviously not on the first date or something, but does the person want to have kids? Depending on how old you are, if it's a second or third marriage or whatever, do you guys have kids? How do you see that blending? What kind of housework do you like to do? Do neither of you, do you both hate doing the dishes? How are you going to work those things out? How are you going to blend your finances? So if you are with someone and thinking of taking that relationship to the next level, having those hard conversations first and not just assuming that you all want the same things, because that can really cause some problems down the road. I do see you needing to learn to say no, Aries, to stop taking on so much responsibility that um, that isn't necessarily yours to be burdened with. Um, I always see this card as like this dude finally just like dropping all these. I mean, he can barely even stand up. What's he doing though? And just dropping all those rods and looking at them and being like, okay, this one, and this one are definitely my responsibility. None of the other ones are. I don't know why I always feel like I have to be the mom that brings in the brownies, or that volunteers for every field trip, or does a majority of keeping the household going. It's like, how did this happen? So I feel like trying to get some conversations going, to help unburden you. And maybe it's just getting your feelings out and learning to share your feelings more, how you're feeling about things. Maybe you've been sort of tight-lipped and just white-knuckled it and I'm just gonna, do it because I'm an Aries and I can do anything and you guys can. And finally are like, I need to use my words like an adult and talk about this stuff because um, it's not going to get better. It's only resentment will build, and I'm just gonna become so burned out. I'm just gonna be done. I'm just gonna lose it. Instead of having a calm conversation, I'm just gonna lose it. And that doesn't tend to be as productive. But you do have this wish card. I feel like a lot of you are, again, daydreaming about, have a crush on someone or daydreaming and really wishing for something to be a certain way, for your partner to be a certain way, for a new partner, for even to some of you, I feel like are daydreaming about, like, do you ever watch those shows on those, like, where people just move to a Caribbean island or something, like daydreaming. Like, I just want to retire and move to. Some of you may be planning retirement actually. And maybe you're finding that what you and if you're with someone, your significant other, do not see retirement the same way. Or maybe like one of you takes like an early retirement and the other one feels burdened burdened. Feels like they have to keep working and it's like feels really unfair. They feel like they're carrying. And again, those are all things like that it would be, you can't think of everything, but talk about before the relationship gets too serious. But people change too. You may have thought you'd wanted something one way and it just changes. I mean, that, or you just really don't know what it was like until you're living it. You just couldn't really make an educated decision when you were 25 versus 65. And so many things have changed. You would never, that's just normal. That's just life. Yeah, some of you like want to just move to an island or move near water or travel, downsize and travel. Um, but I do see like an assessment, almost like a midlife crisis, but not in like, I'm I'm going to, get a red convertible and start acting like I'm in college again, but a real reassessment of where you are and where you want to go, whether you want to bring your current partner with you or not, or if you're single, what type of new people do you want to bring into your life, and do you guys share a similar goal? I feel like you're almost, if you are single, um, you meet someone and you guys have like you share a common dream together, something sort of adventurous, pretty adventurous and um, exciting. Like, I think maybe you both share a common hobby or love of something. Maybe you both like, it could be anything. I almost hate giving examples because it could be whatever you're really into. If you're an equestrian, they're an equestrian. If you're into surfing, they're into surfing. If you're into yoga, they're into yoga. If you like flipping houses, they like to flip houses. And you're like, let's go do that somewhere awesome, somewhere warm, or somewhere different and exotic. Or let's take a year off and travel. Like something kind of big like that. But it's transformative. Like, you're going to make a change and or at least a decision to make a change. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty big. I don't think it's just going to be an internal shift. I think like physically people are going to like, again, you're moving, you're making a significant shift that people are going to be like, holy crap, like, wow, they just don't live here anymore, or they're completely with a different partner, or they're, you know what I mean? Like, or, oh my God, so and so decided to up and move to Aruba together. But it's not going to be careless. Like, you will have all the finances figured out. You will figure out how to make it happen. You're not going to do it if it could, bankrupt you, or just like it's not going to work out. You've really given a lot of thought and made a plan to do it Um, so it's feasible. It's feasible. But it's like something has inspired you to do this. Like, and sometimes it can, you I found out that someone, I still don't know any of the details, that there hasn't even been an obituary, but someone that I work with, they work in a different office, but an office I have to talk to all the time. And I just heard, no one said anything, but I heard a rumor. I heard from someone who I trust would know that this is true, that she suddenly passed. And I talked to her earlier that week, and after I heard this, I called and they had someone else answering the phone. And the weird thing, I'm just going to share this because you never know. The last time I saw her, which was in November, um, I saw her at a meeting where we were all at, and I was introducing her to people, and I just like spontaneously gave her a hug, which was, and then I felt weird about it. I was like, that was kind of weird because, but I do. I talk to her like all the time, and she's so nice and she's so helpful. And I felt weird about it. And then when I heard this news just few weeks later, I was like, oh my God, like I'm glad I gave her that hug and was able to tell her how much I appreciated her because she's gone. And so, and she was young. She was a few years older than I am. So in her early 50s, I believe. So it could be, and that's interesting, you could hear of a sudden death, not directly related to you, but it can, again, that midlife crisis, but not in a bad way, as a wake-up call. Thank you. That's what I want to say. A wake-up call to be like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I got to start eating better. I got to start, life is too short. Who knows? Who knows when and what could happen? She was healthy. Who's to say this could happen to me? And I need to make some changes because getting up and doing this routine is not working for me. And I've kind of accepted it as just the way it is. And now I've realized that I did that in error, and life is what I make it. And if I make it just a daily grind, it's a daily grind. But if I get up every day and figure out how to live my life so that it's fulfilling, and I don't feel like I'm just wasting time to retirement, which may or may not ever come. Who knows? Who knows? I don't mean to be that in a to say that in a way that makes you depressed. It's like it's going to be motivating to you. And that's what this is. This is like lighting a fire under you and just being like, I got stuff to do. Who knows how long I'm going to be here? I got to get up and go. I want to travel. I want to do the things I love to do. I want to figure out my finances so I can do that. It's a real big shift in your thinking, which is what this night. And it's like, hey, I want to live the life of my dreams because who knows how long I have. Okay. Thank you so much, Aries. I hope you have a wonderful January. Take care.